Baraka, Okojie, and Coach Skinn, if you want to make a big statement on the win.
Coach Steve Curran reminded me that was a damn good win right there against a historically really good team that he spent 13 years with. So as happy as I am for Coach Steve, I'm happy for these guys. According to KenPom, that's the oldest team in the country, and you talk about portal. They did a really good job in putting together some really good players. Charles Pride is a heck of a player. Woods was at Cincinnati, had a terrific career there. Big fella, I believe he was a Morgan State transfer. And so when you talk about old experience, that is that group, according to KenPom. And I thought I saw it for about 37, 38 minutes tonight. And, the flip side of that is, I think these guys showed a lot of grit tonight. That's the A-10. That's what it's going to look like. And there was a point in that game where I think could have gone in either direction. And so I'm just really happy with this group and just finding a way to just get out a really good win against a really good team.
Questions for the student athletes?
Amari, the defense there for the last 11, 12 minutes or so, I think they only had 3 made field goals in that entire stretch. Just what kind of happened for you guys after they made that push at the start of the second half?
We knew that we had to come out in the second half and just lock in, basically put 2 halves together, and that was our goal. We knew they were going to hit a couple shots, but we just had to stay the course.
Baraka, given that what a kind of grinded out type of game it was, did it feel like you guys needed a couple plays like those 2 steals to sort of just create a little bit of juice for you?
Coach says all the time that when it comes to conference play, every possession matters. So get a chance to stop them on defense and then go get transition points on the other end was big.
Amari, just in general, coming off the 3-game skid and whatnot, just what were the last few days like, and just how much of a priority was piecing this thing together the way you did?
I'll say it was like a sense of desperateness a little bit. We really wanted to get this win. We knew that we dropped a few that we shouldn't have, and we knew that coming into this game that we wanted to come out and really set the tone and secure the W.
Career high 29 minutes tonight. How did it feel to be out there that much, and how much of a groove did you get into on both ends of the floor?
I didn't notice. I was just out there playing, but it felt fun. When the game is fun, things go your way. And most of the coaches told me this was my best game of the season, and I only took 1 shot. So me being a facilitator, engine on defense and stuff like that, impact the game in all different ways. I feel like that's what I do best.
And Amari, in the second half, you had the 11-0 run. What spurred it on? Did something change? Was it kicked off by your defense? What kind of helped push that along?
Yeah, we kind of always fall back on our defense. That usually always get us going, and that's something that we preach in practice. Is we're a defensive-minded team, and that'll help us get momentum offensively. So, yeah.
Anything else for the student athletes?
Right, you guys took much better care of the ball the last 5-10 minutes or so. How much, what kind of led to things getting scrambled a bit there early in the second half, and just how vital was it to clean that up?
I feel they came out desperate. They came out with a sense of urgency. They came and punched us in the face in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the second half. So once we got settled down, got together, and played as a team, I felt like we handled it pretty well.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Nice job, boys.
Tony, did you sense some desperation from the guys over the last few days?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I don't like to use the word desperation. I think that these guys understood that it's conference play, and sometimes your schedule, and that's the one thing I tried to educate them on. That we had to play a couple games, and the turnarounds just wasn't in our favor. But when it's your turn, and you just got to make sure you take care of business when you do get back home. And that's what we did tonight. And so I tried to make sure that it was our first time that we had a 3-day prep. And, like I said, I don't believe in pressure. I don't believe in desperation, and try to just make sure these guys, are at ease, but also being attentive to what it requires to, kind of come off that 3-game skid. And so, we had a really good first day of practice. The second day it was just as good, but maybe a little bit of a drop off. I barked on them about that. And then we came back and responded in our practice yesterday, and I just thought our prep was good. I could sleep at night when our prep is good, and that's what it was yesterday, and a big reason why we got the win today.
between fixing the turnovers and dialing in on defense, those were the two obvious things that were different the last, 8 to 10 minutes or so. Did you sense anything that changed, that caused those two things to get fixed?
Yeah, I think, and I got to watch film. They play so hard. They're physical. They got a couple fast twitch guys. They're pressuring the whole game, and at the end of the day, it's either Ronald Polite or Baraka Okojie. And Darius, it's not his job to bring the ball up. It's Baraka, it's Trey, and it's Ronnie. And I just thought a few things just kind of uncharacteristically just kind of happened. And then I just thought at some moment, we kind of froze up, and they smelled that, and they just kind of got after us. And I wouldn't even put as much into the turnovers. I just think finishing the possession and those offensive rebounds that they got, I thought there was a sequence where, they looked like giants when the shot went up. We did the right thing textbook-wise, we boxed out, but we still didn't come up with the play. Those are the things that, I think for us, we've done a pretty good job in taking care of the ball. And anytime you can take care of the ball down the stretch when you needed to, I'm fine with it. We didn't turn the ball over at all towards the end of the game when they were full court pressing us. And so, it happens. We figured it out. And that's something we're going to have to go back and look at and just make sure we're taking. At the end of the day, I think Woody, was that the first half of Woody? Yeah, that was the first half. So I can't.
When he traveled.
When he traveled. Speaking of traveling, I would just love to see if there's any. I don't think traveling exists in college basketball anymore. Because as mad as I get sometimes when I see the other team traveling, my guys are doing the same exact thing. So when you guys see me jumping up and down, it's because they used to call traveling on me all the time. And so I don't, I'm done with traveling violations because it's not the refs. It's just something that I don't think exists in college basketball unless it's, an obvious call.
During the losing streak and then the prep for this week, what did you learn about yourself and how to communicate with this team? And where is the line on getting on them, but also where is when they need a pat in the back?
Yeah, I think it's a delicate balance that you have to have. But more importantly, I kind of have two messages. I have my messages that I give to the group, and then I have my individual message because everybody receives and processes in a different way. And, my biggest thing is just making sure I equip these guys with confidence. You're talking about night and day when you're talking about 18, 19-year-olds and their confidence level and being able to go out there and play really well or going out there and playing timid, which affects the game. And so, for me, it was just making sure each guy got their individual message, whether it was via me or one of my assistants, but collectively as a group, just understanding, there's no me on this team, it's us, and we got to all figure it out. And I thought that they responded yesterday. Again, I'll say it again, prep is important for us. We don't practice long. We practice very short. And so, I think the engine was there. I knew in the first couple of possessions it was going to be a barn burner just because I thought the team that they are and just kind of the way we came out, it's going to be a close game. And then again, when we had a chance to go on a run, they came back in it. And again, that's conference play, man. You're going to have your ups and downs, and I'm just glad we were able to go on our run when we needed to.
And now that you've had a few conference games, what is the identity or what is the perceived identity of the team, and what have you learned about them?
I mean, I would say just overall, and it's a cliche thing to say, when we're tough, obviously interior-wise, we've been really, really good. And I thought that tonight we extended that. We're one of the better teams defensively inside the two, not so much outside the three. And that was the one thing we really harped on these guys to, sometimes it's hard to be both. It's really hard to be both, especially when you don't have a rim protector. I know Amari's averaging, a block a game, but it's just because he just stands there and sometimes gets a block. But I thought that tonight we guarded the three. They only made 2 in the first half. And, 7 the whole game. 1 was a junk 3 towards the end of the game. And so I think our identity is our toughness in guarding the basketball because I think offensively, even on a bad night, you score 70 points in conference play. I'm okay with that. Darius had some looks early on, 7 for 21, but scoring in the paint, we've had the consistency there. We can go inside to Keyshawn, we can go inside to Amari. I thought Keyshawn was really attentive today and just kind of reading the doubles and expecting the doubles, and he was just quick with getting it out. Some of those shots didn't go in, but our identity is going to come down to how hard we guard, but how hard we guard both inside the three, but then also the three-point line. We did both tonight.
Coach, momentum swings are part of the game. The last 3 games, it felt like when the other team got on a momentum run, it kind of stifled our offense a little bit. What about tonight was different? How did you kind of combat that 9-point run that
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't orchestrate much. We got down to the wire. Thought things got a little tight. Our defensive effort, you get a steal, everyone forgets how bad they're playing, and you get free 2 points, or you get to the free throw line. And once that uneasiness kind of went away, we kind of just got our swag back. And then obviously down the stretch, I won't say what I called, but we executed it. We executed all 3 times, and I thought that was the game changer. We got to the free throw line, and then even though the play broke on one possession, we stayed in it, and that was that Darius 3. And so I'm happy that Jared Billups, a guy that doesn't make decisions at all, any other time, it's just quick. It's easy to break the play just because it wasn't designed and didn't go the way it was designed. But he stuck with it and he found Darius, and that was just a huge shot. And so that's something that we're going to get a chance to watch and just see the pace and the poise down the stretch and just being able to finish those plays. And I just thought we trusted each other a little bit more tonight.
And then looking ahead a week, you got homecoming coming up. You've experienced it as a player. What are you looking forward to experiencing it as a coach?
I mean, I'm excited. I'm glad I got a day off tomorrow. Homecoming means everything. It's this is a place that raised me, a place I graduated from, and just having a chance to just kind of see the liveliness on campus, getting a chance to see people that I haven't seen in years, decades almost. My teammates, we talk all the time, but other people that came that was at George Mason when I was there, I've been getting text messages and getting berated with text messages, and I'm like, it's game day. I'm gonna try to see you, but it's probably not gonna happen. And so I'm looking forward to it, man. It's I think this campus has a chance to do something special, and a day like that represents that.
Tony, what did you think of what Baraka was able to do there? Not just distributing, which was obviously pretty good, but the disruptiveness that he provided you when you guys really could have used a couple.
Yeah, his engine was everything tonight on both ends of the floor. It's like the perfect game to teach him what that position requires, and I know exactly what he's going through. Just when you have that type of speed and you're trying to make the right play, it requires just being on the floor to figure those things out. You can watch film all day long, but even for me as a player, I didn't. It took a while for me to learn just how to get it done, especially with the natural ability that he has. And it's a great teaching point for him, just because he played almost 30 minutes. He only took one shot, and if I had to give someone the MVP of the day, it'd be Baraka. And so I think sometimes when you have that type of a game, you learn better. And so I'm just happy for him. He made his free throws down the stretch. He wasn't scared at all in the press defense, and he played with poise. And you're talking about a kid that he's like 18 and a half, literally. I think his birthday's in July, I believe. And so I'm proud for him because he showed some leadership tonight.
And the lift that Austin gave you there in the first half, the first 3 in particular, you seemed very, very excited about. So what sort of a lift was that, and what can he give you down the stretch?
I mean, he's again, I said it before, my mind hasn't changed. He's one of my favorite players to coach because his spirit and his energy is always positive. And to be honest with you, that's what's forced me to have to try to figure out how to get him into the game. And we had a conversation this week, and he played a little bit at GW. I think he played a little bit at Richmond. And as much as I jump on him in practice, I had to pull him to the side like, hey, listen, man, I'm jumping on you just because I think you're doing the right things from an effort level, from a spirit level, because I believe in that on the floor. But you just got to just pay attention a little bit more, which is typical for your freshman. And he said, I got you, coach. I got you, coach. And he always says that. I never believe him. But he had such a good practice yesterday and the day before. Again, we're trying to do some different things with our lineups and, playing a little bit small ball like we did tonight with Keyshawn. And anytime you do that, someone's going to get some minutes. And it was Austin Ball. He came in there and he gave his life. And that's something that I'm proud of for him. He's an awesome kid to coach. And he's going to continue to get better, and I think he's got a chance to be a really good player. And this is good for him just because at this time of the year, it's hard when you're not playing. And to be locked in, to come in the game and not think about anything that's happened the last 3 months and shoot the way he did, I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that from a freshman. So I'm happy for Austin.
With the A-10 as competitive as it is this year, how important is it to not let the previous game linger and affect your performance in the next game and just take things game by game?
Yeah, that's conference play. January is the month of going in one direction or the other, and having some resilience one game at a time is what it comes down to. I knew this was going to be a tough game. I can sleep tonight just because we live to fight another day. We've got a week to prep, but doesn't matter who we play. On any given night, anybody can get it in this league, and we've just got to be able to take care of business at home when we can. And obviously, we're halfway there. We got the Roddies coming up, and we're going to prep and do our best to just get ready for that game, and then try to take that momentum on a two game road stretch.
Thanks.